Here we are in Canvas, and we can take one of the areas like my familiarization area, which is a safe space to experiment in. And in here, I might want to import course content. I can import from Commons, which is a place deliberately set up for sharing things. Commons is also available on the left-hand side, but either way, it leads to this screen where here we can search for something. So I know the name of what I want is machine learning, so I can just type that in here. We can see here the one that we want. So I'm going to select it. We can have a look through at different things here, but I'm just going to focus on the import for now. If I click import, I have the option to import it into all the courses I'm registered in. So I do have to select the course I intend, even though I'm already starting from that course. I do see it here. Okay, if I was to go ahead with that, that would be pretty straightforward. I would just click import into course and say something's happening, and then it would carry on like that. Okay, and we could subsequently go to dashboard and go to the course. That seemed straightforward enough. So you probably think I don't need a guide for this. So let's take another look at it. If we were to do the same again, we could go to Commons, just another way to do it, and look for the same thing. That allows us to have a look for it, but when we click import, again, we have to select where we're going to import it into. Okay, again, no problem if I just want to select one thing at a time, but let's say a more realistic scenario is that you would be enrolled in a course that had a develop area, and the same course would have a real area, and you'd be enrolled in both. Okay, so you might search for a course code, and you might select a course code. That's no problem if you're importing into a develop area. There's no harm. There's no real students in there. But imagine this. Imagine that I pick like a real course. So a real course, like we'll just say this one's a real course and that it has a develop area. Then if somebody says to me, no, you should look for the develop area. So I've selected this, but my friend has said, oh, look for the develop area. And I don't have a develop area for that one, but let's say it was this. So I'm thankful that my friend stopped me and I'm thinking, okay, develop area. And I'm going to click import. Now, from what I think is happening, I'm just going to import it into this develop area, which let's say was the develop area of the one that had been the real course I selected. But when my friend told me to go to the develop area, I didn't deselect the real one. So if I delete this here, what have I got selected? I've got the develop area selected, but the real one still selected. And that's the case with a whole bunch of them. You could have a bunch of stuff selected. I even feel nervous doing that. I'll just do it with the develop ones. Just imagine you'd searched for something that was the name, and then someone says to you, no, search for something else. You think, yes, there we go. And you might think it's safe to pick import into course, but if we delete this, all the previous ones are still selected. So the importing is going to happen to all of those. So that essentially is a user interface bug, I would say. You can just go like that to select all and quickly deselect all to get them off. So what I would say is deselect before you go search for another one. That is a flaw with the way Canvas works, and it can lead, I think, to the potential for someone to be looking for one particular course, like you'd be looking for this, and then someone says, look for that, and then I would have a develop area of same, and I might search for develop then. Just to recap, that might be the develop area of that number. I might click import, but we're putting it in the real one and the develop one, and we can see that because if we just do that, we can see the real one is still selected. Okay, so I would say it's important to delete this search box up here because that'll just restrict things down to whatever you've typed in there, like familiarization. It's starting to restrict it just with the first letters. So you need to delete that to see everything that is selected and say not the real one. The developer has got no students and it's safe to import into. So you can do more than one at a time. I mean, there's no problem with developer areas. And then later on, take them from the developer area into the real area when you've built it, when you've perfected it. So for now, we'll just stop that. It's just a warning about what can go wrong. And if you're wondering, did our import work? Let's take a look because we just pop in here. Looks like it's completed. And we can see here modules. And if I just do collapse all, yes, we've got loads and loads of things that we brought in then. These are all from the machine learning one. So we can see lots of good stuff.